I'm building my own counters with 3/4 inch plywood to create the exact look I want. I shared the whole tutorial on my blog if you want the step-by-step guide. But this process is totally doable over existing countertops of pretty much any material. However, if you have tile countertops, you may want to use a product like Bondo to fill in the grout lines. Sand everything smooth and then prime before applying the contact paper. We installed our sink afterward, but you can totally tape off an existing sink and pour. I would not recommend doing this if you have an integrated sink. It would be very tricky to get an even coat of epoxy on the curved vertical surface. I will also be adding a vertical backsplash to the wall in the same material. Hi, I'm going to show you today how you can take this plywood cabinet that we built into a very inexpensive, very durable, heat resistant, scratch resistant, stain resistant, and anti-yellowing marble countertop. It's very, very easy to do, and so let me show you what we're doing. This right here is contact paper. It has a really beautiful marble finish on it. I got this off of Amazon. You want to make sure that it's wider than whatever section of countertop is that you're trying to expand. So before I built these out of plywood, these edge pieces are just 1x2 pieces of pine, or well, we actually used poplar, and then I routed out around the edges so they have a nice, smooth, not sharp corner, because if you have a sharp corner, things are more likely to tent them and chip them. So I routed out the corner, I sand everything down, I put over a coat of Minwax polyacrylic. It's a water-based clear coat. Once you get that down and it's dry, then you can sand it for a really nice, smooth, polished finish, and that will help the contact paper stick really well, which will decrease the amount of air bubbles that you have to fix on this. Okay, so before you start, the only things you're going to need are a pair of scissors and some kind of straight edge. You don't want anything too sharp that'll rip through the contact paper, but you can use a credit card or some kind of straight edge like this to smooth out bubbles. Okay, so you don't want to, make sure that you have the right amount for how long you need to go. But I'm not going to unroll this because it can get really hard to manage, especially if you're one person by yourself. So I'm just going to unroll it a little bit and then start to peel the sticker from the back. So peel as you go slow, smooth it out with your hands, make sure there's no air bubbles in it, but if there are, it's not the end of the world because you can fix those later. Wrap it smoothly around the edge from the top to bottom and press it down to make sure there's no air bubbles. One thing that you want to be careful of, see how I'm starting to get a little short right there? I'm luckily towards the end where I think it'll be okay. But you gotta make sure that you're going the right direction, because otherwise you're gonna have to peel up the whole thing, adjust it, and start over. So making sure that you're straight is important. Now starting at the top, just roll over those edges. Okay, I cut mine short enough that I am able to just fold it under right here. But on the sides, I'm gonna have some overlap, a little too much overlap, so I'm gonna have to trim that down. Okay, actually, before you fold this over, let me show you how I do my corners. Okay, I'm gonna trim that down just a hair. Okay, now I'm going to take this corner, so my corner is right there, and I'm going to cut as straight a line as I can from the edge here. Clear up to the corner, no further, okay? So now, what I can do is I can take this guy and fold it under right here, so that it covers that. And then I've got my straight edge to go off of right here. I'm just gonna take this and snip it off right there. And once this is down, fold that under, fold this under. Then I can take that right there, like that. So I'm going to trim this down a little bit more. Fold that down with the rest of this guy. See that? You can barely see the edge right there. You want to make sure it's just to the side of the curve. Okay, so the last step, once you've got all of your corners on and everything smoothed out, is to go over it with this everywhere and get any air bubbles out that you can find. Okay, if you do have an air bubble that you can't get out, you can prick a little hole in it with a pin and squeeze the air out, and then use your little spatula to get it all smooth like that. So that's one trick that you can use. But we are good. There are no air bubbles in it that I can see, and I am ready to epoxy. I've done a lot of epoxy and I've made the mistakes so you don't have to. My ebook breaks down every fail and how to fix it, plus the exact products I use for anti-yellowing and heat resistance. I share the secret sauce for a scratch and stain resistant finish that still looks gorgeous years later. Ready to do epoxy the right way? Grab the ebook from the description.